Hi everybody, this is Leah with Backyard Homestead in Starkville, Mississippi, Zone 7B. And we've had a couple questions about the chickens and the chicken coop and the chicken run. So I just wanted to go over that a little bit today. Our chicken run area is made from welded wire. We call it dog fence here in Mississippi. And it is 15 feet by 15 feet. So we have a run area of 225 square feet, and that's the only wire we used on two sides. On this front side, we put some chicken wire down at the front because we grow something in this area on this fence, and we grew tomatoes here last year, and the chickens can stick their heads through and they pick all the foliage off of anything we grow here. So we put that chicken wire up, and that took care of that problem. They can't reach through and pick at what's here on this side. And we take you around and into the run. And that's really about all there is to say about the run. It's just dog fence and T-posts. But it's done us well. And let's see, the chicken coop itself, the dimensions are, it is 5 feet by 3 feet. It's 5 feet long and 3 feet wide. And we made it, Alan designed it 5 feet by 3 feet because we intended to make it with fence boards. We made it from fence boards, and we bought 8-foot long fence boards. So when you cut 3 feet off, we had 5-foot long pieces for the front and the back, and that left 3-foot long pieces for both the ends. Some of the things in the construction, we have flaps for ventilation. We have a flap on both ends and on the front and the back, and we lined the opening with hardware cloth so nothing can get in. So we have flips with hooks that you can put these up during the summer so they get plenty of cross ventilation. We have them down now, because it's cool. But there's a flap in the back, a flap on both ends, and then this flap in the front. And again, all of them you can just hold up, and we have a little hook and wire where you can raise them and keep them up during the summer. Where the chickens go in and out, the chicken door is a 1 foot by 1 foot opening, and we have their little ramp where they can climb up. At night, we just have another little hook, and we come out here every night after they go up, and we close the door. And this latch fits perfectly right here, so we can just wedge it in, so that way they can't open the door, and nothing can open the door and get in and get them. This is how I get in to clean them. This door hinges open, and I have a great big bucket that I just set down here at the end, and I take a hoe and I just scrape out the soiled hay into that bucket, and then I take it and put it either on the garden or on the compost pile, and then just put, hey baby, then I put fresh hay in. Hey mama. And this is their roost. These are their roosts for at night. Let's see, we put boards, and then we put some cross roosts too. And this is, again, 3 feet by 5 feet, so a total of 15 square feet on the inside. And we have 6 in there now, and they're comfortable. And we've had as many as 10. And let's see. That is about it for the inside of it. This is where we put the hardware cloth on the inside of the flaps, and just tacked it in with those horseshoe tacks. Hey, they're so curious. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, I'm coming down to the side. And on this end, let's see, we built the nesting box separately and then attached it. So this is the nesting box, and we just have it where we can open it from the outside and check the eggs. Yay, we have 3 today, 3 pretty eggs. And I wanted to talk about the chickens themselves some. We have barred rocks, a golden Wyandotte, and a Rhode Island Red. And the Rhode Island Red and the golden Wyandotte are both, we got in February of 2013, and they are 5 years old. And then the barred rocks we got in March of 2016, so they are 2 years old. And the golden Wyandotte and the red are still laying, doing great. And something else I've noticed, when all the chicken knowledgeable people out there, this barred rock is a lot browner than the others. Three of them are real good solid charcoal gray or black, and that one's slightly different color, a little more brown. Just started noticing that difference recently. Oh, we have a cloth hanging in the back of the coop. It's just a piece of shade cloth to provide them shade in the summer, and they get under it in the winter if it's drizzling or rainy. And that's about it. That's all I can think of. If you have any questions about the design, I mean, Alan designed it, and he and I got out here and built it, and we've been really pleased with it. We initially, I guess if you notice the wheels, we initially built it with the intention of being able to roll it around to different locations in the yard, but we used to have a whole lot more lawn space, a lot less garden, and as we've gone on, we've turned more and more of the actual lawn into garden back here, so rolling it around wasn't really, we really couldn't do it. It didn't work. So that's why we enclosed this area into the chicken run, and instead of moving the chickens around to fertilize different parts of the garden and the yard, we just put down really thick mulch in here, thick bedding for them, and we'll scrape out the bedding every so often and use it to fertilize the garden. There's not very much down in here. I think I said in an earlier video, we had really thick, deep leaves in here the other day, probably about 3 days ago, and we raked all of that out, cleaned it out well, and put it on the garden. And we're trying to let this dry out a little bit. And it really had dried out pretty well until it rained last night. But we're going to give it a few more days to dry out. But it was nice enough where the chickens were taking a dust bath in here yesterday before the rain came. So we're going to let it dry out a little bit more. Then we have bagged leaves stockpiled that we're going to put back down for bedding for them. But I guess that's about it. All right. Thanks for watching.